All right, welcome back. You've made it to day 18 of your coding journey, and today we're tackling something that is no joke, a cornerstone of automation in Python. We're going to demystify the range function. So, let's dive right in.
Okay, so let's set the stage here with what I call the repetition challenge. You know how we've been looping through lists, right? That's great. But what if you don't have a list? What if you just need to tell your program, hey, do this thing exactly 5 times, or 100 times, or 1,000 times? How do you do that?
So, here's the big question. How would you make Python do something exactly 100 times? I mean, think about it. There's no way you're going to copy and paste the same line of code 100 times, right? That would be insane. Well, this is exactly the problem that the range function was built to solve.
Okay, to really get this to click, I want you to think about this with a simple but really powerful analogy. Just imagine that the range function is your own personal fitness coach, but for Python. Right? When a coach tells you to do 10 push-ups, they don't say, okay, do push-up number 1, and now do push-up number 2, and now push-up number 3. Can you imagine how annoying that would be? No, they just give you a number, a target, and you get to work.
And that, right there, is exactly what range does inside your code. It's your digital coach. It doesn't care about naming every single repetition. It just sets the number of reps. It's super clean, it's efficient, and it's totally direct. All right, so the concept makes sense. The coach gives a command, but how do we translate that command into actual Python code? Let's take a look. You'll see the translation is almost one-to-one. On the left, you've got the coach yelling, do 5 push-ups, and on the right, you have the Python way, for I in range 5. Both of these are just the setup. They're the instruction to get ready for 5 repetitions of something. So let's really break this down. That first line, the for I in range 5, that's basically you telling Python, hey, get ready, we're about to do something 5 times. And then that indented line below it, the print push-up, well, that's the action. That's the actual push-up. It's the thing you want to do over and over again. Now, using range seems pretty straightforward, right? But to really master it and avoid the common mistakes that trip everyone up, you got to know 2 critical rules. I promise, if you get these 2 things down, you're going to be in great shape. Okay, so here they are. First up, in Python's world, counting always starts at 0. We'll dig into that. And second, we need to meet our little friend, the counter variable, usually called I. Let's tackle these one by one. All right, rule number 1. This is probably the biggest gotcha for beginners. You have to remember, Python does not count the way we do. For programmers, counting almost always starts at 0. It's just how computers think. So when we see range of 5, our human brain instantly jumps to the numbers 1 through 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's not what Python sees. It hears the request for 5 numbers, for sure, but it starts counting from a totally different place. And here's what Python actually generates. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now go ahead, count them on your fingers. That's still 5 numbers, right? So the loop still runs 5 times, just like we asked. The key takeaway is that the sequence stops at the number that is 1 less than what you put in the parentheses. You have to remember that. Okay, so what about that little I in for I in range? What is that thing? Well, think of I as just a temporary little bookmark. As your loop runs through the sequence, I takes on the value of the current number. So on the first pass, I is 0. On the second pass, I becomes 1, then 2, and so on all the way to the end. It's just a counter that lets you keep track of which lap you're on. And this is super useful because you can actually use that I value inside your loop. All right, theory time is over. We've gone over the 2 big rules. Now it's time to put your knowledge to the test with a quick little pop quiz. You ready? Okay, take a good look at this code. We've got a simple loop for I in range 10, and inside it just prints I. So, based on everything we just talked about, what is the last number that this code is going to print to the screen? Go ahead and pause here if you need a second to think about it. You got an answer in your head? The final number printed is 9. If you got that right, seriously, pat yourself on the back. That means you've truly understood the most important and trickiest rule about range. And just to recap why, range of 10 asks for 10 numbers. Because Python starts counting at 0, those 10 numbers are 0 all the way through 9. So the 10th number, the very last one in the sequence, is 9. It's as simple as that. And just like that, you've done it. You've really grasped one of the most fundamental tools in Python for doing, well, anything repetitive. This is a huge, huge step forward in your coding journey. Seriously, this is like unlocking a new power. You're not stuck just looping over lists you already have. From now on, anytime you think, I need to do this exact thing a specific number of times, whether it's 10 times or 1,000,000 times, Range is the tool you're going to reach for. So, that really just leaves us with one big, exciting question. Now that you have this incredible tool for controlled repetition in your toolbox, what are you going to build with it? The possibilities, and I mean this, are literally endless. Hey, if this explainer helped the Range function finally click for you, a quick like and subscribe would be awesome. It really helps out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.